Hi, my name is Pat Carr, and I'm the village manager at Tinley Park. And with me today is a good friend and colleague, Chief Steve Klotz with the fire department.
How you doing, Pat?
Today we're going to talk about how the fire department contributes to the safety and well-being of the village of Tinley Park, its residents, and all of its visitors. Steve, I'd just like to go over a few questions with you today and just to explain a little bit about what the fire department really does.
Sounds good.
So explain a little bit about the structure of the fire department.
The structure of the fire department dates back to 1901. It started as an all-volunteer fire department with one fire station and probably like 20 volunteers. As the years evolved, the community grew. We had to add additional fire stations, the first one being Fire Station 47, which is the old Fire Station 2 on 167th Street. Shortly after that, Station 3 on 175th Street was built, and then several years after that, Fire Station 4. So we're currently working out of 4 fire stations fully staffed. Our daily staffing is 21 firefighters per shift. They either work a 12-hour or 24-hour shift. We run 3 fire engine companies, 2 ladder companies, and 2 battalion chiefs on a daily basis to handle the call volume. We're supplemented in large incidents with mutual aid, whether it be automatic aid, mutual aid, and to bring some of our surrounding communities, such as Frankfurt, Mokina, Orland, Oak Forest, and we do the same for them also, helping them out too. The department receives and gives this mutual aid, and it's a big partnership, especially during large-scale incidents. When we don't have enough resources of our own, we're supplemented by other equipment from other communities, and we do the same for those other communities.
So we're definitely not the volunteer fire department we were 50 years ago.
No, and again, our staffing, since 2001, we started staffing our firehouses. And of course, we, as budget would allow, we added additional staffing to a very comfortable level today of 21 per shift out of 4 fire stations.
So 24/7, we have firefighters and ambulances.
And at each station, correct.
Each station
correct.
ready to go.
Correct.
What type of training do our firefighters go through?
All our firefighters must become state certified firefighters from the Office of the State Fire Marshal, which is basic firefighter. That's the basic level they need to get employed, but it does not stop there. Once they get done with that, they have to become a fire apparatus operator, which again is another state certification, and that allows them to drive and pump the fire apparatus. Shortly after that becomes the officer staff, which is the lieutenants and the captains. And yes, they do have to go to more school for that, which is again part of the State Fire Marshal program to become certified Fire Officer 1 and Fire Officer 2 to the levels of what position they're working in.
So they go through all the same training as all of our other municipalities around here.
Correct. Everything is state of Illinois certified. So they can go from any organization, and that certification throughout the state of Illinois is identical to any department around in Illinois. Also, our chief officers have to go through like a year and a half worth of training to become a certified fire chief officer. So that's all part of that regimen. And there's also a lot of specialized rescue, different certifications that based on what team that they may be part of, if they're on a specialized rescue, if they're on a hazmat team, if they're on a cart rescue team. And now the big thing is our drones. Our drone team has to go to additional training also. We have a training tower facility on 183rd Street, which is not only used for our training academy, but it's used for almost daily training of our on-duty personnel. Because once they're certified, they still have to meet certain objectives to remain certified. Therefore, they're training while they're on duty also. One thing I'm very proud of is that Tinley Park holds a fire ISO Class 1 rating, which is based off of insurance ratings throughout the whole United States. In the United States, there's 38,000 agencies that run fire and emergency response. Of that 38,000, there's only 490 that are Class 1 rating. Breaking that down a little further, in Illinois, there's only 29 of the fire departments in Illinois that are Class 1 rating.
So we're the top tier.
We're at the very top tier, and we just got recertified back in June of 2024. So we're good for another 4 years before they come, because this is not a one-time, they certify you and you're done forever. They come back every 4 years to check and make sure that you're proficient on what you're supposed to be doing. But a lot of this work was done through the fire department, but I'd be remiss to not include the 911 center, who plays a very important role in this evaluation, and most important, the water department, public works. All that together builds up the class rating for the department, and because we achieved high grades in all three of those, fire department, water department, and dispatch, we're able to get a class 1 rating, which again, I thank my fellow department heads that helped us achieve that. Very, very complicated, long task. And I would also like to thank the village board and village management for supporting us, because this is a long mission and it does take a lot of time away from our daily chores of doing things to focus on getting this class 1 rating.
No, it's great work, and I know the length that it's taken, and it's, so everybody knows this isn't just checking the box and sending it in and we pay the fee and we get the ISO rating. There is an extensive process that you go through, as you mentioned, public works, our water system, our 911 center, our village management, how we all collectively and collaboratively work together to provide these services. So, I commend you and all the departments really that have done such a fantastic job. I do have one question as part of the training. Do they get cooking classes? I seen on Fox News we had one of our firefighters talking about how they cook.
Well, that one I could tell you is not part of the state fire marshal certification. However, yes, we do have some good cooks in the fire department, and as the fire service says, most of the world problems are solved around the kitchen table, and that's where the firefighters have their camaraderie, which is what we want to see, because again, when they go into the field to do the actual work, it's very, very dangerous. And I would like to add on that, since you brought it up, that if you do see the fire truck at Jewel, they're on duty and they're ready to respond to a call, and that's why they go together, because they have to respond as a team. They cannot go separately, so that's why they shop together. So if you ever see a fire truck at the grocery store, you'll know why they're there.
What other types of things does the department get involved in with the community?
Our fire department is a very, very proactive fire prevention, public education department. We, for many, many years, go into every school which is called Fire Prevention Week, but we actually make it Fire Prevention Month. That's usually sometime in October. We visit every single school. We put on demonstrations. We let the kids go see the fire truck. And we do something that is one of the most popular things of all. We have a poster contest that is done every year. So that means every child in every school in Tinley Park has an opportunity to enter this contest. And the winners of each age group come to a banquet at the fire station, and we have a nice breakfast with them, and then each one of those individuals who wins gets a free fire truck ride to school, set up by the school and the fire department. We also hold a Citizens Fire Academy, which is once a year, and that lets our citizens know what the fire department is made of. It's very, very well attended. This will be our 3rd year that we're going to run it again. We always have great reviews about it. That's going to be coming up probably soon. We also do CPR and AED training. I would tell you, if anybody's interested in that, just visit our website, and that'll give you the times that these classes are held. They're held right at the fire station, and you can become certified by our firefighters teaching this class.
That's great info, Steve. Last thing I'd just like to touch on is Tinley Park EMS. Yourself and I have been intimately involved in the EMS side of things as it relates to how it's been conducted over the last 20 years. We know it started with Trace Vandenberg Ambulance, probably well over 40, 50 years ago. Explain a little bit how the evolution of this ambulance service going from, Trace to Kurt's AMR, in-house to the firehouse, and what our future holds for EMS. Sure. For the community.
So basically, you're correct that the ambulance is provided by a private contractor that several years ago would work outside of our fire station, and we didn't have much interaction with them at that time from the fire department. Several years ago, you remember we took it upon ourselves to say that the new contracts had to work inside our fire station, which is now dispatched by our Tinley Park 911 center, which decreases the overall response time when an ambulance is needed at a location. Not only does that happen, but we also now have joined together with some of the emergency medical responses to assist our ambulances with fire department members responding. I'm very proud to announce that we were considered a first responder, which is a very basic level, where we will be making within the next month the next step to basic life support licensure, which is the next step above, which we will be able to assist our current EMS with different type of incidents, which will be ultimately better for the community.
Well, Steve, I'd like to thank you for coming to visit with me today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
And we look forward to all the great work in the future.
Thank you.